Good morning, everyone. Will everyone please rise for the presentation of colors by the FDNY, Ceremonial Unit, and U.S. Army. Will everyone please remain standing as I invite Captain Antonio Quinones to sing our national anthem.
Detail, hand salute.
Praise it up. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ready, two.
Thank you, Captain Quinones. Please remain standing. I would like to introduce FDNY Chaplain, Pamela Holmes.
Detail uncovered.
Good morning. Let us pray. Awesome and mighty God, our refuge, our hope, and our strength. Today we turn to you, O God, remembering the lives lost in the catastrophic events of September 11th. We remember those who lost their lives, and we remain forever grateful for the sacrifices of EMS members and all those who aided in the aftermath. God, we thank you for their bravery and their fearlessness and their courage. Today, we simply ask, oh God, that you would continue to strengthen the families and friends of those that mourn. Comfort them in their heartache and let them know that they do not grieve alone. Help us to mourn with a constant compassion rooted in you. We gather here today to remember all those who put their lives at risk to protect and serve others, and to remember those who have suffered illness from rescue and recovery efforts. We honor today, O God. We honor their memory and commit ourselves to compassion. We simply ask, O God, that you will bring healing, that you will continue to support those that are in psychological pain, physical pain, emotional pain. Help us to understand, oh God, that all we can do is to depend on you. Let us remember, oh God, with respectfulness, never forgetting those who suffer as if we suffer with them. Let us remember with compassion, embracing our deep compassion for those grieving. Let us remember without fear, knowing that with you we are unafraid. Let us remember by trusting, knowing that you are the God who guides our steps. Let us remember with your promise, confident that you are always the God that is with us. On this day, may our memories shape our identities, our emotional well-being, and our relationships. May these memories invoke joy, happiness, and love. May we always remember that we are a family, and families are built on memories of love. So let us remember to keep our memories alive, for in doing so, we stay connected to our past, and most importantly, we stay connected to our family. Amen.
Detail recovered.
Please be seated. Thank you, Reverend. Please retire the colors. Good morning, everyone. My name is Deputy Chief Kevin Rondale, and we would like to welcome you to our annual September 11th Remembrance Ceremony here at Fort Totten. At this time, I would like to introduce the members of our dais. Please hold your applause to the end. Chief of EMS, Michael Fields. Brigadier General Daniel Herskowitz. Assistant Chief Paul Miano. Assistant Chief Cesar Escobar. Deputy Assistant Chief Tanya Boyd. Deputy Assistant Chief Grace Cacciola. Deputy Assistant Chief Stacy Scanlon. Deputy Assistant Chief Joseph Pataki. Deputy Assistant Chief Kathleen Newth. Colonel Jonathan Berliner. Councilwoman Vicky Palladino. Assembly Member Edward Braunstein. Representative of Congressman Thomas Swazi, Ian Kaplan. Chief Medical Physician of the FDNY, Dr. David Prezant. Local 2507 Vice President Michael Greco. Local 3621 President Vincent Variali. Superior Officers Association President, Division Commander Denora Claudio, and you already met Reverend Pamela Holmes. At this time, I would like to introduce probationary EMT Michael Schramm, who will deliver the Remembrance Prayer.
Today we remember the bravery of the 343 members of this great department who made the supreme sacrifice 24 years ago today so that others could be saved. 24 years ago today, members gathered in their firehouses and EMS stations to begin another day of service to the people of the city, not knowing what the day would bring. This could be said about every day in the life of career first responders. On September 11, 2001, the department lost not simply 343 members, but we lost one member 343 times. Today we come together to remember each of these individuals. We also come as a fire department family to give strength and support to each other. We continue to honor the memory of our 343 fallen members and their contribution to the department, the city, and the country. We will never forget. The time is now 8:46. American Airlines Flight 11 has struck the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Let us now bow our heads in a moment of silence.
I would like to introduce Chief of EMS, Michael Fields, who will say a few words.
Good morning, friends. We come together today to honor the memory of those who lost their lives in the horrific attack on the World Trade Center 24 years ago. While we mourn their absence, we also gather to pay homage to the extraordinary bravery of the first responders who rushed towards the danger on that tragic day. On September 11, 2001, our nation was confronted with unimaginable acts of terror that shook us to our core. Amidst the pandemonium and destruction, it was the first responders who acted without a second thought, exemplifying the very soul of courage, selflessness, and unyielding dedication. To the paramedics, EMTs, firefighters, medical personnel, military and civilians who worked relentlessly to aid the injured and offer comfort, we express our deepest admiration. Your skill and compassionate care were a beacon of hope and solace for those in their greatest moment of desperation. In the 24 years since, the FDNY has endured the heartbreaking loss of over 409 additional members, a grim testament to the enduring sacrifices made by our brave department on that fateful day. As we reflect on the lives lost, we also acknowledge the ongoing sacrifice of first responders nationwide. In the face of new and constant dangers, you continue to risk your own lives to ensure the safety of others. You embody the spirit of service and the principle of heroism every single day. Let us honor our fallen colleagues by recommitting ourselves to the values they held so dear: dedication, courage, and compassion. Let us pledge to never forget their sacrifice and to support one another as we face the future. To the families of our heroes, we offer our heartfelt condolences, gratitude, and profound respect. Their sacrifice will forever be etched in our memory. We will never forget the valiant souls we lost. May God continue to bless the United States of America, and may God always bless the FDNY. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Fields. I would like to invite Chief Fields and Chief Boyd to water the memorial trees and lay the first wreath on the tribute wall. I would like to introduce Brigadier General Daniel Herskowitz, who will say a few words.
Good morning. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of this annual commemoration. On behalf of Major General Scott Linton, the Commanding General of the United States Army Reserves, 99th Readiness Division, it is an honor and privilege to stand before you today in remembrance of those who have sacrificed and continue to sacrifice in the wake of September 11th, 2001, terrorist attacks against our nation. Today's ceremony is a solemn one. Nearly 3,000 innocent souls lost their lives 24 years ago over rural Pennsylvania, inside the Pentagon, and the World Trade Center's Twin Towers that stood about 15 miles from this location. This includes the 343 New York City firefighters, which we remember and pay our deepest gratitude for their heroic actions running into danger on 9/11. Today, we also look back to the beginning of our nation's entry into wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Just over 7,000 U.S. service members died in this post-9/11 complex, paying the ultimate sacrifice to the defense of our freedoms and way of life over the past 24 years. But today's ceremony is also a celebration of those who stood fast in the face of the enemy, such as our firefighters, police, EMS, other first responders, and the men and women of the U.S. Army Reserve's 77th Regional Support Command, who played a key recovery here at Fort Totten and recovering efforts setting up an emergency operations center. Of the 343 FDNY heroes that perished on 9/11, 5 were members of the Army Reserve. They were not only serving their communities as firefighters, but also serving their nation as citizen soldiers. We celebrate the lives and heroism of these citizen soldiers: Sergeant Sean Powell, Staff Sergeant Frederick Ill, Chief Warrant Officer Ronald Buca, Captain Mark Whitford, Captain Michael Mullen, and Lieutenant Colonel William Pullman, who worked as an attorney on the 91st floor of Tower 2. These 6 heroes, as well as the countless others just like them, refused to let the terrorists win that day. Their strength and resolve foreshadowed the heroism displayed every day by our men and women in uniform who continue to raise their right hands and volunteer to defend our nation, and our first responders that continue to serve our communities in the face of danger every day. As a New York native who grew up just east of here on Long Island in Nassau County, this day hits home. Long Island and the 5 boroughs of New York were and still are the center of the world to me. The resilience of New Yorkers to overcome tragic situations can never be questioned. How fitting that just 10 days after the attack, Major League Baseball resumed not too far from here at Old Shea Stadium, with Mike Piazza hitting a go-ahead home run to propel the hometown Mets to victory over the Braves that evening. For those of you old enough to remember that day, it was more than just a baseball game. It showed how united we are. We are strong and above all, proud Americans that love our nation. Today, in your own personal moments of reflection, I ask that you remember our fallen warriors as you consider the enormous debt owed to all who have given their lives for us, both past and present. Their patriotism can never be questioned, their valor can never be matched, and their sacrifice can never be repaid. I ask too that you include in your thoughts and prayers the wives, husbands, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. For these loved ones have endured terrible losses. Their silent service in this great country must not go unnoticed. It is our duty to constantly remind our fellow Americans how important it is to honor our men and women in uniform, both military and you, the first responders. We cannot assemble here today and enjoy the many blessings of liberty were it not for those willing to literally place themselves between their fellow citizens and the enemy. Our military remains the best trained, best armed fighting force in the world. We will continue to face 21st century threats, stop terrorists and our enemies in their tracks, both home and abroad. This is the promise all service members make to their fellow citizens, and it's a promise we intend to keep. Thank you again for allowing me to play a small role in this remembrance of one of the key moments in our nation's history. We must never forget the lessons learned on that fateful Tuesday morning as we continue to heal as a people and as a nation. Never forget 9/11. May God bless you, our service members, first responders, United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, General Daniel Herskowitz. I would like to invite the U.S. Army to lay a wreath at the wall. At this time, I would like to invite members of the dais to pay respects to the memorial wall.
Members of the department who made the supreme sacrifice while operating at Manhattan Box 558087 World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. First Deputy Fire Commissioner William M. Feehan. Chief of Department Peter J. Gansey, Jr. Assistant Chief Gerard A. Barbara. Assistant Chief Donald J. Burns. Deputy Chief Dennis A. Cross. Deputy Chief Raymond M. Downey, Sr. Deputy Chief Edward F. Garrity. Deputy Chief Charles L. Casper. Deputy Chief Joseph R. Marchbanks, Jr. Deputy Chief Oreo J. Palmer. Deputy Chief John M. Paolillo. Chaplain Father Michael F. Judge. Battalion Chief James M. Amato. Battalion Chief Thomas P. DeAngelis. Battalion Chief Dennis L. Devlin. Battalion Chief John J. Fanning. Battalion Chief Thomas J. Farino. Battalion Chief Joseph D. Farrelly. Battalion Chief Joseph Dreslak. Battalion Chief Thomas T. Haskell, Jr. Battalion Chief Brian C. Hickey. Battalion Chief William J. McGovern. Battalion Chief Louis J. Modafferi. Battalion Chief John M. Moran. Battalion Chief Richard A. Prunty. Battalion Chief Matthew L. Ryan. Battalion Chief Fred C. Sheffield, Jr. Battalion Chief Lawrence T. Stack. Battalion Chief John P. Williamson. Captain Daniel J. Brethel. Captain Patrick J. Brown. Captain Vincent E. Brunton. Captain William F. Burke, Jr. Captain Frank J. Callahan. Captain Martin J. Egan, Jr. Captain Michael A. Esposito. Captain John R. Fisher. Captain Vincent F. Giamano. Captain Terrence S. Hatton. Captain Walter G. Hines. Captain Frederick J. Ill, Jr. Captain William E. McGinn. Captain Thomas C. Moody.
The time now is 9:03. United Airlines Flight 175 has struck the South Tower of the World Trade Center. Let us bow our heads in a moment of silence. I would like to invite Assistant Chiefs Paul Miano and Cesar Escobar to lay the second wreath at the memorial wall.
At this time, we'd like to invite all uniformed members to pay their respect at the wall.
Captain William S. O'Keefe, Captain Vernon A. Richard, Captain Timothy M. Stackpole, Captain Patrick J. Waters, Captain David T. Woolley, Lieutenant Joseph Agnello, Lieutenant Brian G. Ahern, Lieutenant Greg Atlas, Lieutenant Stephen J. Bates, Lieutenant Carl J. Bedigian, Lieutenant John A. Chrissy, Lieutenant Edward A. Diatri, Lieutenant Manuel Del Valle Jr., Lieutenant Andrew J. Desperito, Lieutenant Kevin W. Donnelly, Lieutenant Kevin C. Dowdell, Lieutenant Michael N. Fodor, Lieutenant David J. Fontana, Lieutenant Andrew A. Fredericks, Lieutenant Peter L. Freund, Lieutenant Charles W. Garbarini, Lieutenant Ronnie E. Geese, Lieutenant John F. Ginley, Lieutenant Jeffrey E. Gouja, Lieutenant Joseph P. Gullickson, Lieutenant David Halderman, Lieutenant Vincent G. Halloran, Lieutenant Harvey L. Harrell, Lieutenant Stephen G. Harrell, Lieutenant Michael K. Healy, Lieutenant Timothy B. Higgins, Lieutenant Anthony M. Jovic, Lieutenant Thomas R. Kelly, Lieutenant Ronald T. Kerwin, Lieutenant Joseph G. Levy, Lieutenant Michael F. Lynch, Lieutenant Patrick J. Lyons, Lieutenant Charles J. Margiata, Lieutenant Peter C. Martin, Lieutenant Paul R. Martini, Lieutenant Paul T. Mitchell, Lieutenant Dennis Mojica, Lieutenant Raymond E. Murphy, Lieutenant Robert B. Nagel, Lieutenant John P. Napolitano, Lieutenant Thomas G. O'Hagan, Lieutenant Glenn C. Ferry, Lieutenant Philip S. Petty, Lieutenant Kevin J. Pfeiffer, Lieutenant Kenneth J. Phelan Sr., Lieutenant Michael T. Quilty, Lieutenant Ricardo J. Quinn, Lieutenant Robert M. Regan, Lieutenant Michael T. Russo Sr., Lieutenant Christopher P. Sullivan, Lieutenant Robert F. Wallace, Lieutenant Jeffrey P. Walls, Lieutenant Michael P. Wacola, Lieutenant Glenn E. Wilkinson, Fire Marshal Ronald P. Buca, Fire Marshal Andre G. Fletcher, Fire Marshal Vincent D. Kane, Fire Marshal Kenneth B. Kumpel, Fire Marshal Paul J. Pancini, Firefighter Eric T. Allen, Firefighter Richard D. Allen, Firefighter Calixto Anea Jr., Firefighter Joseph J. Angelini Sr., Firefighter Joseph J. Angelini Jr., Firefighter Faustino Apostol Jr., Firefighter David G. Arce, Firefighter Louis Arena, Firefighter Carl F. Asaro, Firefighter Gerald T. Atwood, Firefighter Gerard Baptiste, Firefighter Matthew E. Barnes, Firefighter Arthur T. Barry, Firefighter Stephen E. Belson, Firefighter John P. Bergen, Firefighter Paul M. Byer, Firefighter Peter A. Bielfeld, Firefighter Brian E. Bilcher, Firefighter Carl B. Beanie, Firefighter Christopher J. Blackwell, Firefighter Michael L. Bocchino, Firefighter Frank J. Bonomo, Firefighter Gary R. Fox, Firefighter Michael Boyle, Firefighter Kevin H. Bracken, Firefighter Michael E. Brennan, Firefighter Peter Brennan, Firefighter Andrew C. Brun, Firefighter Greg J. Buck, Firefighter John P. Burnside, Firefighter Thomas M. Butler, Firefighter Patrick D. Byrne, Firefighter George C. Kane, Firefighter Salvatore B. Calabro, Firefighter Michael F. Camarata, Firefighter Brian Canizaro, Firefighter Dennis M. Carey Sr., Firefighter Michael S. Carlo, Firefighter Michael T. Carroll, Firefighter Peter J. Carroll, Firefighter Thomas A. Casoria, Firefighter Michael J. Cawley, Firefighter Vernon P. Cherry, Firefighter Nicholas P. Schiappolo, Firefighter John G. Shapora, Firefighter Michael J. Clark, Firefighter Stephen Coatley, Firefighter Terrell Coleman, Firefighter John M. Collins, Firefighter Robert J. Cordice, Firefighter Ruben D. Correa, Firefighter James R. Coyle, Firefighter Robert J. Crawford, Firefighter Thomas P. Cullen III, Firefighter Robert Coratolo, Firefighter Michael D. Doria, Firefighter Scott M. Davidson, Firefighter Edward J. Day, Firefighter Martin N. DeMeo, Firefighter David P. DeRubio, Firefighter Gerard P. Dewan, Firefighter George DePasquale, Firefighter Gerard J. Duffy, Firefighter Michael J. Alferez, Firefighter Francis Esposito, Firefighter Robert E. Evans, Firefighter Terrence P. Farrell, Firefighter Lee S. Feeling, Firefighter Alan D. Feinberg, Firefighter Michael C. Fiore, Firefighter John J. Florio, Firefighter Thomas J. Foley, Firefighter Robert J. Foti, Firefighter Thomas Gambino Jr., Firefighter Thomas A. Gardner, Firefighter Matthew D. Garvey, Firefighter Bruce H. Gary, Firefighter Gary P. Guidel, Firefighter Dennis P. Germain, Firefighter James A. Giberson, Firefighter Paul J. Gill, Firefighter Jeffrey J. Giordano, Firefighter John J. Giordano, Firefighter Keith A. Glasgow, Firefighter James M. Gray, Firefighter Jose A. Guadalupe, Firefighter Robert W. Hamilton, Firefighter Sean S. Hanley, Firefighter Thomas P. Hannafin, Firefighter Dana R. Hannon, Firefighter Daniel E. Harlan, Firefighter Timothy S. Haskell, Firefighter Michael H. Howe, Firefighter John F. Heffernan, Firefighter Ronnie L. Henderson, Firefighter Joseph P. Henry, Firefighter William L. Henry Jr., Firefighter Thomas J. Hetzel, Firefighter Jonathan R. Homan, Firefighter Thomas P. Holohan, Firefighter Joseph G. Hunter, Firefighter Jonathan L. Ielfi, Firefighter William R. Johnston, Firefighter Andrew B. Jordan Sr., Firefighter Carl H. Joseph, Firefighter Angel L. Huarbe Jr., Firefighter Paul H. Keating, Firefighter Richard J. Kelly Jr., Firefighter Thomas W. Kelly, Firefighter Thomas J. Kennedy, Firefighter Michael V. Kiefer, Firefighter Robert C. King Jr., Firefighter Scott M. Kopitko, Firefighter William E. Krukowski, Firefighter Thomas J. Kuvakis, Firefighter David J. LaForge, Firefighter William D. Lake, Firefighter Robert T. Lane, Firefighter Peter J. Langone, Firefighter Scott A. Larson, Firefighter Neil J. Levy, Firefighter Daniel F. Libretti, Paramedic Carlos R. Lillo, Firefighter Robert T. Lanane, Firefighter Michael F. Lynch, Firefighter Michael J. Lyons, Firefighter Joseph Maffeo, Firefighter William J. Mahoney, Firefighter Joseph E. Maloney, Firefighter Kenneth J. Marino, Firefighter John D. Marshall, Firefighter Joseph A. Mascali, Firefighter Keithroy M. Maynard, Firefighter Brian G. McAleese, Firefighter John K. McAvoy, Firefighter Thomas J. McCann, Firefighter Dennis P. McHugh, Firefighter Robert D. McMahon, Firefighter Robert W. McPadden, Firefighter Terrence A. McShane, Firefighter Timothy P. McSweeney, Firefighter Martin E. McWilliams, Firefighter Raymond M. Meisenheimer, Firefighter Charles R. Mendez, Firefighter Steve J. Mercado, Firefighter Douglas C. Miller, Firefighter Henry A. Miller Jr., Firefighter Robert J. Manara, Firefighter Thomas Mingione, Firefighter Manuel Mojica, Firefighter Carl E. Molinaro, Firefighter Michael G. Montesi, Firefighter Vincent S. Murillo, Firefighter Christopher M. Mozillo, Firefighter Richard T. Muldowney Jr., Firefighter Michael D. Mullen, Firefighter Dennis M. Mulligan, Firefighter Peter A. Nelson, Firefighter Gerard T. Nevins, Firefighter Dennis P. O'Byrne, Firefighter Douglas P. Olschlager, Firefighter Joseph J. Obrin, Firefighter Samuel P. Otis, Firefighter Patrick J. O'Keefe, Firefighter Eric T. Olson, Firefighter Jeffrey J. Olson, Firefighter Stephen J. Olson, Firefighter Kevin M. O'Rourke, Firefighter Michael J. Otten, Firefighter Jeffrey A. Palazzo, Firefighter Frank Palumbo, Firefighter James N. Papageorge, Firefighter Robert E. Parrow, Firefighter Darrell V. Pearsall, Jr., Firefighter Christopher J. Pickford, Firefighter Sean E. Powell, Firefighter Vincent A. Princiata, Firefighter Kevin M. Pryor, Firefighter Lincoln Guape, Firefighter Leonard J. Regaglia, Firefighter Michael P. Ragusa, Firefighter Edward J. Roll, Firefighter Adam D. Rand, Firefighter Donald J. Regan, Firefighter Christian M. O. Regenhard, Firefighter Kevin O. Riley, Firefighter Jimmy Riches, Firefighter Joseph R. Ravelli Jr., Firefighter Michael E. Roberts, Firefighter Michael E. Roberts, Firefighter Anthony Rodriguez, Firefighter Matthew S. Rogan, Firefighter Nicholas P. Rosamondo, Firefighter Paul G. Ruback, Firefighter Stephen P. Russell, Firefighter Thomas E. Sabella, Firefighter Christopher A. Santora, Firefighter John A. Santor, Firefighter Gregory T. Sosito, Firefighter Dennis Scalzo, Firefighter John A. Shart, Firefighter Thomas G. Scholes, Firefighter Gerard P. Schrang, Firefighter Gregory R. Sikorsky, Firefighter Stephen G. Siller, Firefighter Stanley S. Smagala Jr., Firefighter Kevin J. Smith, Firefighter Leon Smith Jr., Firefighter Robert W. Spear Jr., Firefighter Joseph P. Spoor Jr., Firefighter Gregory M. Stajic, Firefighter Jeffrey Stark, Firefighter Benjamin Suarez, Firefighter Daniel T. Sir, Firefighter Brian E. Sweeney, Firefighter Sean P. Talon, Firefighter Alan Tarashevitz, Firefighter Paul A. Tegmeyer, Firefighter John P. Tierney, Firefighter John J. Tipping II, Firefighter Hector L. Tirado Jr., Firefighter Richard B. Van Hine, Firefighter Peter A. Vega, Firefighter Lawrence G. Belling, Firefighter John T. Vigiano II, Firefighter Sergio G. Villanueva, Firefighter Lawrence J. Virgilio, Firefighter Kenneth T. Watson, Firefighter Michael T. Weinberg, Firefighter David M. Weiss, Firefighter Timothy M. Welke, Firefighter Eugene M. Whalen, Firefighter Edward J. White III, Firefighter Mark P. Whitford, Firefighter Raymond R. York, retired members of the department and member of the Fire Patrol who died while operating at Manhattan Box 558087, World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. Retired Captain James J. Corrigan, retired firefighter Philip T. Hayes, retired firefighter William Wren, Fire Patrolman Keith Rowland.
Members of the department who died due to illnesses related to their work in the rescue and recovery effort at Manhattan Box 558087 World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. Firefighter Gary E. Salentani, Firefighter Robert W. Dillon, Firefighter Van Clive A. Johnson, Firefighter Russell C. Brinkworth, Firefighter Edward V. Tejan, Firefighter Walter Voigt, Battalion Chief Kevin R. Burns, Firefighter Stephen M. Johnson, Lieutenant Richard M. Burke, Firefighter Michael Sophia, Firefighter Joseph T. Callahan, Firefighter Joseph P. Costello, Firefighter William R. O'Connor, Lieutenant Ronaldo Natal, Paramedic Deborah Reeve, Lieutenant Cruz Antonio Fernandez, Fire Marshal William Wilson Jr., Lieutenant Thomas J. Hodges, Firefighter Robert J. Weaver, Lieutenant Joseph P. Cololori Jr., Firefighter Michael J. Shaggy, Firefighter William R. St. George, Firefighter Raymond W. Halber, Lieutenant Brian Ellicott, Firefighter William E. Moreau, Lieutenant John P. Murray, Firefighter Sean M. McCarthy, Firefighter Bruce M. Foss, Firefighter Jacques W. Poultry, Firefighter Martin C. Simmons, Firefighter Kevin M. Delano Sr., Lieutenant Vincent J. Tancredi II, Paramedic Clyde F. Sealy, Firefighter Timothy G. Lockwood, Firefighter Anthony Alisi, Firefighter Edward F. Riley Jr., Firefighter John F. McNamara, Lieutenant Thomas G. Roberts, Captain Kevin J. Cassidy, Firefighter Joan R. Daly, Firefighter Richard A. Manetta, Lieutenant Peter J. Fahrenkopf, Battalion Chief John J. Vaughn, Firefighter Robert A. Ford, Paramedic Kareem A. Brown, Firefighter James J. Ryan, Lieutenant Robert M. Hess, EMT Freddie Rosario, Lieutenant Harry Wanamaker Jr., Supervisor Communications Electrician Philip J. Berger, Firefighter Vincent J. Albanese, Firefighter Robert J. Firefighter John P. Sullivan Jr., Firefighter Roy W. Chelsea, Firefighter William H. Quick, Lieutenant Andrew M. Borghese, Firefighter John F. O'Neill, Firefighter Willie T. Franklin Jr., Lieutenant Randy J. Weeback, Firefighter Brian C. Malloy, Lieutenant John A. Garcia, Firefighter Anthony J. Nuccio, Fire Marshal Stephen C. Mosiello, Firefighter Carl Capobianco, Captain Emilio R. Longo, Firefighter Raymond Ragucci, Deputy Chief William J. Guido, Captain Sheldon Baracus, Firefighter Virginia A. Spinelli, Deputy Assistant Chief John S. McFarland, Lieutenant Robert J. Stegmeyer, Lieutenant Mark W. McKay, Firefighter Owen T. Carlock, EMT Anthony J. Vaccaro, Lieutenant Patrick J. Sullivan, Firefighter Michael F. Mangelli, Firefighter Lawrence J. Sullivan, Firefighter Michael G. Behetti, Battalion Chief Thomas R. Van Doren, Battalion Chief Richard E. McGuire, EMT Joseph V. Schumo, Paramedic Ruben I. Berrios, Firefighter Walter Torres, Battalion Chief John K. Corcoran, Firefighter Andrew D. Dal Cortivo, Lieutenant Martin T. Fulham, Firefighter Charles L. Jones III, Battalion Chief Richard D. Arazosa, Supervising Fire Marshal Emil K. Harnischfeger, Lieutenant Douglas Mulholland, Captain Peter J. Casey, Paramedic Rudolph T. Avelka, EMT Francis A. Charles, Paramedic John W. White, EMT Louis DePena, Firefighter Adolfo Atania, Lieutenant Michael F. Cavanaugh, Deputy Chief Inspector James W. Mandelkoff, Lieutenant Thomas J. Rainey, Firefighter Keith E. Atlas, Auto Mechanic Raphael E. Scarpitti, Lieutenant Walter J. Nelson Jr., Lieutenant John J. Halpin, Captain William C. Olson, Lieutenant Stephen B. Reisman, Firefighter Ronald R. Renison, Lieutenant John K. Rems, Firefighter Daniel E. Hegland, Firefighter Robert E. Lever, Lieutenant Howard J. Bischoff, Firefighter Cornell L. Horn, Lieutenant Thomas Giamarino, Firefighter Eugene J. McCarry, Firefighter James J. Marshall Sr., Firefighter Charles S. Zoki, Firefighter Richard E. Noggin, Battalion Chief John J. Cassidy, Captain John R. Graziano, Firefighter Gregory A. Chevalier, Battalion Chief George D. Iser, Firefighter James M. Hicks, Captain John Gallagher, Lieutenant Keith M. Lockman, Captain Thomas J. Thompson, Lieutenant Harold E. McNeil Sr., Lieutenant Gary J. Gates, Firefighter Dennis J. Edels Sr., Firefighter Nicholas J. Namazi, Firefighter Thomas A. Lynn, Battalion Chief James N. Costello, Firefighter Frank D. Montana, Firefighter Michael P. Smith, Firefighter Thomas J. Kelly, EMT Norman Valley, Firefighter Joseph A. Morstead, Lieutenant Robert G. Alford, Firefighter Thomas Farrell, Firefighter Robert W. Johnson, Fire Marshal Gregorio Morales, Firefighter William E. Woodlawn, Lieutenant Ronald D. Biller, Captain Vincent R. Ongaro, Firefighter Paul F. Santoro, Firefighter Robert M. Bless, Firefighter John A. Dunn, Firefighter Harry L. Davis, Lieutenant Raymond W. Alexander, Firefighter Joseph P. O'Toole, Firefighter Kevin A. Rooney, Firefighter Brian J. Masterson, Firefighter Robert F. D. Giovanni, Lieutenant Edith E. Torres, Firefighter Robert E. Newman, EMT Rose M. Scott, Lieutenant Stephen Sorger, Lieutenant Mario Bastidas, Firefighter Roy E. Smith, Firefighter James J. Lanza, Paramedic Mark A. Harris, Firefighter Raymond J. Pfeiffer, Lieutenant William J. Kelly, Firefighter William J. Gormley, Firefighter John B. O'Brien, Firefighter Michael L. Duffy, Marine Engineer Robert W. Alexander, Battalion Chief Joseph D. McCune, Firefighter Michael R. O'Hanlon, Dr. Michael G. Gutenberg, Firefighter Robert M. Talarcio, Lieutenant Edward J. McDonough, Lieutenant Joseph R. Stack Jr., Firefighter Raymond R. Phillips Jr., Firefighter Ronald P. Smeck, Lieutenant Edward T. Meehan, Captain Victor C. Valva, Deputy Chief Joetti Frizzell, Firefighter Paul R. Tokarski, Pilot Thomas P. Phelan, Firefighter Keith R. Young, Marine Engineer John L. Bueller, Firefighter George F. Froelich, Firefighter Brent G. Kroback, Firefighter James J. Herson. Firefighter Robert J. Lembo. Assistant Chief Ronald R. Spadafora. Firefighter Charles Williams. Battalion Chief Robert P. Muccio. Firefighter Michael T. McDonald. Firefighter Jimmy Martinez. Firefighter Dennis G. Heaney. Firefighter John R. Elgis. EMT Felipe A. Torre. Paramedic Martha Stewart. EMT Joseph A. Rodriguez. Firefighter Daniel C. Bove. Captain John S. Moschella. Firefighter Richard H. Meehan. Lieutenant Timothy P. O'Neill. Firefighter Kevin E. Lennon. Captain Robert E. Collis. Lieutenant John T. Moran. Firefighter Joseph Walsh. Firefighter Lloyd W. Stewart. Firefighter Kevin J. Nolan. Firefighter Richard N. Driscoll. Auto mechanic James J. Satilli. Firefighter Robert B. Fitzgibbon. Firefighter Walter E. McKee. Firefighter John W. Boyle. Firefighter Joseph R. Lucino. Firefighter Roger Espinal. Firefighter Richard J. Tanagretta. Firefighter Andrew S. Gargiulo. Lieutenant Richard G. Estreicher. Firefighter Clifford R. DeMuro. Captain Dennis M. Gilhooly. Firefighter Brian W. Cass. Firefighter Michael L. Felton. Firefighter Richard B. Jones. Lieutenant Paul W. Dale Jr. Firefighter Joseph A. Hatzelman. Firefighter Daniel R. Foley. Battalion Chief Dennis J. Moynihan. Lieutenant Donald Franz. Firefighter Anthony R. Irachi. Firefighter John H. Marr. Firefighter Paul J. Greco. Lieutenant Kevin C. Dunn. Firefighter Anthony J. Catapano. Firefighter Paul A. McManaman. Associate Electrical Inspector Michael Cavolius. Firefighter John P. Fogarty. Firefighter Timothy J. Burke. EMT Renee Sanchez. Lieutenant John P. Poulos. Firefighter William Hodgins. Fire Marshal Robert J. Kelly. Firefighter Thomas G. Manley. Firefighter Ronald P. Stores. Lieutenant Gerard C. McGibbon. Lieutenant Paige A. Humphreys. Firefighter Dennis A. Farrell. Firefighter George H. Wilson Jr. Firefighter Joseph M. Boyle. Captain Frank A. Portel. Firefighter Joseph K. Daly. Firefighter James D. Shaughnessy. Lieutenant James J. Winters. Captain John J. Galvin. Firefighter Sean D. Kennedy. Firefighter Thomas G. Olkers. Firefighter James P. Williams. Firefighter Dennis J. Riley. Lieutenant Martin K. Farrell. Firefighter Anthony Malfi. Firefighter Wayne T. Gehring. Paramedic Stevenson McCoy. Lieutenant Patrick J. Whalen. Firefighter Stephen J. Riley. Firefighter Dennis B. McLean. Firefighter James J. Cody Jr. EMT Mark A. Weiner. Firefighter Michael J. Toll. Firefighter Patrick J. Laurel. Captain Charles Harris. Battalion Chief Arthur S. Lakiotis. Battalion Chief Ronald H. Kemley. Fire Marshal Michael J. Fedorowski. Assistant Chief Alvin J. Soria. Firefighter James T. Redmond. Firefighter Andrew J. Hornbuckle. Lieutenant John P. Raftery. Firefighter Frank J. Gasparino. Firefighter Christopher P. Viviano. Captain Michael S. Early. Lieutenant Pablo Guzman. Battalion Chief Edward J. Tierney. Firefighter Frederick H. Gallagher. Deputy Chief Richard J. Chatterton. Firefighter Gregory J. Lamont. Captain Michael J. Lyons. Firefighter James Walsh. Lieutenant John A. Bigliotti. Firefighter Alfred J. Artisoni. Supervising Fire Marshal John J. McCauley. Firefighter Robert R. Reynolds. Firefighter Michael Beresy. Deputy Chief Vincent J. Mandala.
Flight 77 crashes into the Pentagon. Let us bow our heads in moment of silence.
At this time, we'd like to invite retiree members to walk in.
Private Dennis J. Coleman. Captain Faith Allen. Lieutenant Gloria Gordon. Lieutenant Dowden C. Malbeck. Firefighter Russell Feliciano. Dr. Sabina B. Ostolsky. EMT Stephen Thorson. Lieutenant Arthur J. Darby. Firefighter Richard C. Tasha. Supervising Fire Marshal James E. Devery. Firefighter Edward V. Roenick. Captain Paul W. Smoltz. Firefighter Ronald J. Kirchner. Firefighter William M. Hughes. Firefighter Greg Lawrence. Battalion Chief Joseph A. McKee. Lieutenant James F. McCauley Jr. Battalion Chief Stephen J. Garrity. Firefighter George J. Triptree. Firefighter Peter A. Chiodo. Firefighter John F. McDonald. Battalion Chief Brian E. O'Flaherty. Firefighter Michael J. Arriaga. Firefighter Thomas D. Healy. EMT Patricia Scaduto. Lieutenant Michael G. Hance. Lieutenant Donald J. Kelly. Firefighter Thomas J. McDougal. Marine Wiper Bruce Pete. Lieutenant Joseph Brosey. Battalion Chief James J. Hanley. Firefighter Victor A. Cantelmo. Battalion Chief Vincent G. Lyons. Paramedic Peter L. Bushy. Paramedic Paul Daniels. Captain Gary A. Nyborough. Firefighter James C. Major. Firefighter Douglas F. Harkins. Lieutenant Richard Cody. Fire Marshal Carl J. Cedarhold. Lieutenant Jamie J. Burns II. Firefighter Michael T. Costa. Captain Neil R. Farrell. Lieutenant Michael J. Higgins. Lieutenant James K. Donahue. Firefighter Thomas W. Anderson Jr. Firefighter Kevin R. Kelly. Firefighter Robert M. Hughes. Firefighter Edward R. Pepperoni. Senior Supervisor, Communication Electrician John Fiorentino. Firefighter Robert E. Welsh III. Firefighter John Tisker Jr. Firefighter Albert A. Pelosi. Paramedic Andrew J. Angelis. EMT Hilda L. Bonanno. Firefighter Robert V. Colwell. Firefighter Mark R. Senna. Battalion Chief Christopher D. Scolari. Chaplain Reverend Monsignor John E. Galenda. Firefighter Michael W. Dell. Captain Luke M. Lynch. Firefighter Harold J. Johnston. Electrician Joseph Ferrari. Lieutenant Stephen A. Asaro. Firefighter William R. Bartholomew. Captain Stephen Marubi. Firefighter Michael J. Chiaffi. Firefighter Robert M. Kelly. Firefighter Frank A. Caputo. Captain Robert R. DeLeon Jr. Battalion Chief Kevin S. Blaine. Lieutenant Michael J. Shannon. Firefighter Stephen G. Radich. EMT Christopher Swakowski. Lieutenant Charles J. Maniscalco. Firefighter Peter A. Quinn. Firefighter Errol Nyquist. Firefighter Stephen E. Russa. Firefighter Jose L. Hickson. Firefighter Joseph J. Scaramazino. Firefighter Joseph F. Tumulty. Firefighter Michael A. Wallace. Firefighter Edward D. Thompson. Firefighter James B. Johnson. Firefighter John Tyrell Jr. Captain Thomas S. La Barbiera. Lieutenant Anthony S. Cozino. Deputy Chief Nicholas J. Visconti. Lieutenant James S. Cooney Sr. Firefighter Thomas E. Ryan. Lieutenant Patrick J. Ward. Firefighter Christopher W. McCormick. Division Chief Mark E. Stephens. Firefighter John F. Conway. Firefighter Anthony F. Mistrelli. Firefighter Christopher J. Bach. Firefighter Lawrence T. Murphy. Auto Mechanic Richard O. Sarnes Jr. Firefighter Thomas H. Gaddis. Firefighter Neil G. Gimple. Firefighter Michael A. D. Benedetto. Battalion Chief Dennis J. Collins. Firefighter Thomas L. Dunn.
At this time, I would like to invite retired members, Yvette Perez, Thomas Moon, to lay final wreath and remembrance.
Chief Eugene T. Kelvin Jr., Firefighter Daniel J. McCall, Firefighter Christopher J. Revere, Fire Marshal Ronald A. Mitchell, Lieutenant Vincent C. McMahon Jr., Firefighter Robert S. Coulson,
I ask everyone, please rise. The U.S. Army performs the final roll call in honor of 6 soldiers who gave their lives on that day.
Ready, two, 4, right. Group, oh.
ready. Sergeant Sean Howell. Staff Sergeant Frederick Hill. Ward Officer 1, Ronald Hookup. Captain Michael Mullen. Captain Mark Griffith. Lieutenant Colonel William Pullman. Detail, attend. Go! Right. Forward, march. Left. 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 Left, 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 rock, down.
At this time, EMS cuts and drums will be performed in these areas. Thank you. Please remain standing as I invite FDNY Chapel, Pamela Holmes, to deliver the benediction.
May our lives continue to honor those whose lives were lost, and all who have carried pain and suffering since that tragic day. May we remember them not only with our words, but with how we live, with courage, with compassion, with a deep commitment to peace. Let us strive for a world not consumed by violence, but a world where we are free to be the people God has created us to be. God has not placed us at the mercy of one another, but into the care of one another. May the Spirit of God enlighten our hearts and transform our service and lead us into a new life as we invoke this blessing upon us this day. May peace surround us, may love strengthen us, and may this benediction rest upon us this day. So let us go forth into the world in faithful service to EMS and FDNY, devoted to the people of the city with steadfast hope that love is indeed always stronger than fear. And now may the strength of God uphold us. May the power of God protect us. May the hands of God guide us. May the light of God lead us. And may the love of God accompany us this day and forevermore. Amen and so be it. Thank you.
Ready, halt! Detail, right, face. And salute. Ready, two. Left, face.
thank you all for coming to commemorate the events of September 11th, 2001. It's an honor to remember all those who continue to lose their lives. We want to acknowledge and thank the FDNY Retirees Association for their contribution to this ceremony. We also want to acknowledge and thank local 2507, 3621, and Superior Officers Association and USC. Their contributions to support this event provide no presence. We would like to invite everyone inside the first floor until the room 25 for the prayer. Details